What is up, Brad?
Hello, JR. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Overall, I'm doing well. Doing well.
I'm sorry I had to miss last week. Not to you, to everybody who had to watch you by yourself. No, I'm just playing.
They got to see
Good thing you
the
got
much
Candace
better
on here.
half. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah,
We got to talk about Taylor Swift,
I'm. I know. I
and
watched
then and then Bobby just like, hey, I ran the outro, and then Bobby's like, I guess I'm going to join now since like it's over, and then it spontaneously went on for another 15, 20 minutes.
it. Nice. Well, that works.
So how's things going in JR land?
Uh, it hasn't been great. Um, my mom's mom, my grandma, has been in the hospital for 2 weeks now, and I guess she gets to come home, but we don't think she should come home. It's kind of weird because they were like all this stuff they want to do, and then they're like, "Oh, it'll be this the next day and next day," and then all of a sudden, like yesterday, they're like, "Oh, she could go home." So I think she's meet her 2 weeks in the hospital, and they want to check her out, and then possibly check her back in because that's what happened before. So they'll send her home, she'll fall again, and then we'll be back at the hospital for 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
great time. So I got to miss all kinds of fun things I could have done in the last couple of weeks. So I've been home. And I still plan on going to Expo, but we'll see how that goes. But I do plan on going to Expo. So, and
so
we
you're
do have a
saying that
booth. Regardless of my status, Matos has a booth. So you'll get to see all our cool new stuff there.
is Coro JR making an appearance or the Mustache Man Jenga?
Jenga is already in Texas. I left it there after the mini.
Oh.
So it's there, even if I don't
So
make
if
it.
you went to North Texas meetup and you did not get to play Jenga, or you wanted to but couldn't, but you're going to Expo, you're not missing out. Exclusive for all the tens of thousands of people watching at home tonight. The July, Christmas and July weekend, Mustache Man Jenga
Yes.
returns
At
for
Christmas
the
Expo.
second time.
It will be there. So that is the plan. Should we get on with the show? Because we have a really cool guest and with a really
We do.
cool
I'm excited because I know nothing about this. So it's time to learn. I've been trying. I've been trying to be professional, so I'm ready.
All right. Let's run the intro and get this thing started. I see. I didn't do it one week. I don't even know where my pages are. There we
I
go.
remember my first time.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
This is a Matos Designs production.
And I am not done. Mark my
I
words.
like your line. I like your prices. But there's a problem. There's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
And now your hosts.
In a shocking development, Brian has officially abandoned the grueling world of professional trying to pursue a life of arguing with fish and crashing remote-controlled cars. While JR mourns this devastating loss, Matos Designs Productions Management assures us there is a new hope in the form of Brad. Because if you combine Brad's professionalism with JR's raw ability to just try his best, you almost get one whole Brian. And now, here are your hosts, JR and Brad. That's going to take some getting used to.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
Welcome, everybody. JR is back.
Oh, and Brad found his fancy buttons. And he screwed up things. Like I'm gonna bring somebody on right now, and you go to the stage and it's got one screen for the with guest. What did you do, Brad?
I just clicked a bunch of buttons like that.
Yeah, but you changed backgrounds and
because dude, you didn't leave me much time. I mean, you had stuff going on, and it's like, well, hey, if you want to go on for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, like that's even possible.
Yeah.
Um,
So we have
because
Brian on. I had to
that's
fix
not what
it
the
all.
trophy
Sorry.
looks like inside.
I have all these presets, and then he goes and screws them up.
We have never used this.
Yes, we have.
The bulb doesn't look like that.
For this one.
That might be closer to it, but it doesn't look like the last one. I know you're not used to that, but
That's after I fix it in xLights. That's what mine would do if I won one, because I would fix it up.
I just heard you go into xLights and copy the models and then sell them as your own.
I didn't know you could sell models.
Well,
Is there a market for selling models?
It's just holes in plastic, so it doesn't matter if you designed it or not.
Oh, yes. That's true. All right. So we have Brian in here before Brad gets into some conspiracy theories of how Koro's made. Brian, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. My name is Brian. I live in the Franconia area of Alexandria. Husband, dad of two, and just love to tinker, play with lights and sound and music, technology. Have always had an affinity for technology.
So, so where exactly is that located?
So it's going to be about 20 or 30 minutes outside of DC, out of Washington DC.
Oh, my daughter lives in Arlington.
That's about 5 or 10 minutes away. Yep,
Oh, cool.
If all goes well, I will be there next weekend.
that's right.
Well, Mustache Jenga also. That's
Oh.
what people want to know.
It's still in Texas.
Well, you said in 2 weeks. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Currently in Texas. This Saturday, I will be there at the Mid-Atlantic.
Yep.
So you put it all together, Brad?
I'm caught up.
Candace, can you explain this to him later? So what do you do outside of the holiday lighting hobby?
Yeah. So outside of lighting, what pays the real bills is I work for a startup right now that focuses really on cloud resilience and security. Really like a post sales implementation expert, really. And then prior to that, was over at Microsoft, helping public and private sector customers. Had my own IT company for about 13 or 14 years. Just outside of work. The xLights takes a lot of my time, and then hobbies around like home assistant, 3D printing, networking. Again, just around technology and things that are around. But really, the lights are probably the most public facing situation.
Brian, how long have you been, have you had a holiday light display?
I believe we're going on our fourth or fifth year at this point.
I mean, we don't.
Right, yeah. About 4 or 5 years. At this point, they all kind of just run together after the first year or two. But 4 or 5 years.
So you said someone of an IT background. Like, what actually inspired you to get started?
So I see before college, or right around college, I was into DJing, both professionally as a mobile DJ for weddings and private parties and things like that. Did a few nightclubs, and at that point, also got into concert lighting and show lighting, performance lighting. And so with I think I stopped doing that around 2013 or so. Um, so then kind of developed myself professionally in the networking and computers and IT and things like that. And then after a little while, I'd always seen these types of shows around, and I tracked down a fellow Microsoft employee that lived about 5 minutes away from us, and went to his house one year, and he's like, "This looks interesting because it kind of combines the best of both worlds, right? So a little bit of music, a lot of music, and some lights. I'm just a firm believer in between lighting and sound that can change the atmosphere of either an event, party, or in this case, like being able to provoke emotion, right? Around, especially around the holidays, whether it be Halloween, Christmas, whatever. being able to tie the two together really just it's a good outlet for me, and I enjoy seeing the faces on the family's faces or the smiles on the family's faces.
Okay, squirrel moment, first one of the night. Sorry, JR. As a former DJ myself, a lot of people don't know I used to DJ some of the biggest and largest nightclubs in Cleveland, downtown.
That doesn't say
And
much. Cleveland. Go on.
just because we drink 40s and not wine doesn't mean we can't do it. Cleveland's a really nice city. You should try coming here sometime. Like really coming to Cleveland. But Brian, what type of music did you typically play? Stuff like that. Just kind of curious. Completely off.
Uh,
I
it
did
was a
top
mix.
40 hip hop, reggaeton, stuff like that.
When it came to the mobile events, it was whatever the clients were requesting, whether they're wedding or birthday parties or bat bar
Obviously.
mitzvahs, things. But when I was doing the clubs, it was down in Virginia Beach. So hip hop is obviously very popular down there.
Mhm.
And as we towards the end, it was getting into more of the dance stuff, a lot of the tech house and house music, which
Yeah.
is kind of really what I've stuck to listening to when I'm jamming out something on the computer or working on something in the garage. It's I like all kinds of music really, but that just kind of keeps me going. A couple of buddies of mine are now starting to produce their own music, so I'm helping them through that journey, which is also fun.
And you could possibly get that into xLights as a sequence. And
I'm working on it for one of the guys here. He's at some point, I'm sure he will make it big. He was down in Miami Music Week for this in this March. So I'm sure he'll blow up on when I surprise him. Hopefully this year with one of his songs being sequenced.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
JR? That's what the people really want to know. Even opera. Sherry, if somebody gave me money and I was playing an event for them, they want opera music, they're getting opera music.
Yep.
I might mix it with like Flowrider or Pitbull or something, but they'll get it.
Yep.
And the groupies to Marion Mobile DJs also.
Right.
If y'all want to know how I married so far out of my league, ladies love DJs.
Right.
Ladies love the DJs. Jerry, you got to try the unmute button, buddy.
I was making jokes and apparently I was muted, but it doesn't show muted. Would you mute me?
I did not mute you. I did not mute you at all. That was like the whole crowd's like.
All right. So Brian, give us a quick overview of like what your display is and stuff like that.
Yeah. So overall, it's about 28 or 29,000 lights. Probably adding a few more this year. Run, just a bunch of between Culp and Falcon, boards. Probably about 6 or 7 in total. Primarily the K32AB. I just haven't had a chance to upgrade or a desire at this point. Been really focusing on props. Got one of the biggest things that we did this most recent year was rebuild our matrix by using some proper outdoor panels. And so my daughter's 7 and my son is about 2.5. He looks at it and he goes, TV, TV. In fact, I had a 4th of July sequence up for this, for this 4th of July. He only really remembers July or December of this last year. And as soon as I turn the house lights on again this year, he looks up at me, he goes, TV? Where's TV? Like, oh, I didn't mount it.
I just stopped correcting people. Yep. HDTV. If they're like, where do you buy your stuff? I'm like, oh, you got it at Lowe's and Home Depot after Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be me there. I just, oh, it's Govee. Yep. Govee and Twinkly, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing. How does so you said you had a 7-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. How does the family handle your yearly display chaos?
It depends on who you ask. My wife is extremely supportive. She at this point doesn't really want to know what comes in or how much it costs. She likes it when she sees it up there. My daughter, this has to be our 5th year. Because she was about 2 when I took her to our friend around the corner to his house. And then ever since then, every year she adds a little bit more to the show. Like she wants to tell me where to put the minion props, or she kind of helps me do the layout every year. So we discuss it as we get closer to the time, and I let her pick where some of the things go or some of the songs. My son, who knows? Let's see what he does this year. He'll be probably out there dancing. And then, one thing that's really neat is my father lives with us, and he's 75, and he has been doing this, with me ever since. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to know how to mount some of these things in the house and put a lot of these props together. So a lot of kudos goes to him, and the fact that he's still out there is cool. So it's kind of a multi-generational thing. My dad is, he's starting to bug me now. What are we going to do for this year? What are we going to buy? What are we going to put up? What are we going to change? So it gives him something to do, but it's cool to kind of do it together in the family and keep it like that. So it's fun. I'm looking forward to when boy and girl are older and do the same with them. Hopefully.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you got to be careful when they get older, though. They have a lot of opinions because they
Yeah.
don't want dad to make them not look cool at school. So you
Right.
have to make sure you run every song by them.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, at what point will my daughter say, "My dad has the cool lights and this and all this," to where you're playing this song? Don't play
Yeah.
this one. Nobody's listening to this one anymore.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
Yep.
Around 10 to 11, they.
I heard it
That's-
happens around 6, 7.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not allowed anymore, Brad. Don't do
Most
that.
popular
That is
sequence.
not cool.
Most popular sequence. 6, 7 in the.
It won't be next year. It is not cool.
Well, I'm not doing a show this year, so you'll have to let me know. Speaking of popular, what would you say your? Yeah, I know you mentioned the TV screen is your 2.5-year-old says, but what would you say is your most popular prop or part of the show, or your most favorite prop?
I think from like what kind of gets people's attention is the minions. So we've got three of them kind of front and center. We make those guys the singer. Actually, they're more to the side, but the minions. I think people love them. I think for me, um, I really enjoy some of the like this most recently this last year we put in our own like a poor man's pixel forest, kind of made it out of our own PVC and things like that. I love that because we don't have a ton of a large of a front yard. It's even kind of on a slope. Um, but it's kind of neat to make it go up and down and wave and do that whole thing. So that's been sort of my newest favorite, and then the minions are cool, and then in fact, I don't know the proper name. I think what's going to be my most favorite this year, because between Ron and the brainwashing we had last season, calling it the Extreme Spire, I think Jr. But it's the Kraken, whatever I just bought the other day.
Oh, the Kraken Rigid.
Yes, yep.
What does Ron call it?
He calls it the Extreme Spire. I think in the beginning he was joking around saying that in his video.
Oh,
JR
right.
does use that in the show because he uses everything in the show. Just like he's adding an evil Halloween themed rock band and Christmas band. And if they'll showed up on my front porch with the pixels already pushed, that would be awesome.
We don't push pixels, but to be fair, I'm not running Halloween because we're doing Nightmare Before Christmas this year.
Ooh.
We're doing some cool stuff with that, but I am running Christmas in our Christmas parade in our city and at my house.
That's awesome.
We have the full band. Damn it! Why do you squirrel all the time, Brad?
I know where I'm at in our unscripted show.
Yeah. How's your display evolved over the years?
So I think the first year, it was basic to the point where we didn't even have like the house outline or anything. It was just 6 or so windows that we have. We built the frames for that. I think the first year I bought a used matrix, and I think the minions and light bulbs were about it, and maybe some of the arches. So I think it was really close to like 5,000 lights at that point. Maybe one half controller. And then every year, but if probably set the calendar to it. It's around this time I'm thinking, nope, not going to add anything to the show. We're just going to use what we have, make the sequencing easier, put everything in the same spot. And then, of course, August rolls around or September, and I'm like, maybe we need this. Maybe we need that. I think hopefully I got that out of my system so far this year, but we'll see.
I typically get all my sequences redone from the previous year, knowing that I'm probably going to add some stuff. So I just got to go back and those, you start going to all these events and you see something,
Yep.
and you're like, Okay, all right. And then I add those in, but at least I know I have, my basic what I'm going to do for that year done early in the year.
Yeah.
And then I just got to, do a batch render or something now.
Yep.
But nice. So currently, how do visitors like discover
Yeah.
your display?
Really, word of mouth. Like we're fortunate, 315 days out of the year we live kind of on a dead end with two kids and a kid full of neighborhood full of kids. But obviously, come Christmas time and Halloween time and show time, it's getting people down this road, come and see the light show is the challenge. So it's really grown over word of mouth. I've partnered the Christmas tree, like a farm or plant stand that's kind of almost year round. And so when people are buying Christmas trees, I've got some signs up there that say, "Hey, come check out Franconia Lights," which is the name of the light show. Um, I'll run a couple of ads, maybe on Facebook in the beginning. The last couple of years, we were able to make it on the local news into two different networks
Oh,
2 years ago. And then last year was a lot of fun. We had the NBC affiliate come out and they do Doug's Holiday Lights, which is a weatherman on one of the local stations here. And every Thursday in December, he goes and broadcasts somebody's yard, and they have a holiday display. So he was out for about 3 or 4 hours, broadcasting from our house. So every time they do weather, they would do an interview with us, and people would come by. So that was fun, and I'm hoping we can maintain some of that momentum from last year and the folks that came out. We had quite a bit of traffic last year. But
that's
for us, is really around, I would say probably 19, 20, 25 cars or so a night, which, again, depending upon where you're at. It's good to get people down. It's good enough to get the people down the street, and that's just happy enough to see people be happy. But maybe Facebook or Instagram, just try to spread the word of mouth.
Very cool. So it's a little bit different weather than I have, but do you like go outside and like interact with people? Like, what was the most like funny or memorable thing a visitor interaction has been?
I think there's two things. My daughter is old enough now that we can kind of watch her from being outside. She loves to put on a Santa hat. We went to Costco and got the Costco size of the mini candy canes, and she'd run out there, would get a car and go with her, and pardon me, and walk up, and she'd be able to, she won't say much. She's a little shy, but she'll give them candy canes or we'll offer them candy. So it's kind of neat to see their interact. Oh, I love your show. And I think this last year was really cool. We saw a family come up, I think almost 2 nights in a row. They'd bring their lawn chairs and kind of sit out on the driveway and watch the show. I always like that when they're invested, and they got two little kids that are just dancing and having a good time. And I remember growing up as a kid, we were not going to see light shows like this, but we would go and get in the car and go take a look at, holiday lights and things like that. So just
that's good stuff. I mean, that is, like we had my daughters are older. They're both in their mid-20s. And like I said, one lives out there by you. And
yeah,
my other one got married back in the fall. And but we had a family come out, or when we have family out, like when they're passing out candy canes, people like love that. And the one girl, she's like, "Give donations now." And I'm like, no. We're just, if they want to donate, it's okay. They don't have to. But
right.
they're Girl Scouts. They know how to like get people to give them money.
Yeah. Yep.
Before we go on to the next thing, Willie's got a question for you, Brad.
How can I be a host if you don't have a show? I mean, we are currently offering our positions to anybody who wants to do this. So, clearly our views went up by over 10 million people last year without JR. And then when Brian came in or Bobby came in at the end,
Yeah.
it was like 11.
No, I think we should make Brad just at least put his mega tree up.
You mean my Sasquatch Megatree?
Yeah, Brad uses all
similar to the one you use in your show.
Yeah.
So, all right, Brian, I'm not saying you came out of nowhere, but your post got a lot of attention on the official group and other pages when you dropped Festively. And I apologize if I said it wrong. I blame JR for typing it wrong in our unscripted show. And so what is Festively? We got millions of people watching right now. They're tuned in,
Right.
all 10 million of them.
Yep.
And Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's a project I've been working on for about maybe 8 months or so. But it's really a discovery platform for holiday light displays. It's kind of what it boils down to, and it's the idea is, there's the map layer, which is, it's very common. You see that in local community ones. You see that in even some of these other platforms that are out there. But you're able to plan them out, save favorites, so it becomes, instead of like looking at Google Maps and plotting, kind of plotting things out a couple of days before. It's, get in there, take a look at what's around you, what's in 5 miles, 10 miles, 30 miles, and kind of map it out and make your own night. And then the other part is, display owners like us being able to use it to get discover and really kind of give the visitors everything that they need all in one spot. I'm into, simplicity and kind of consolidating things, right? So their schedules, what, when they get here, when they get to the light show, what is the FM frequency if they're still doing that, and song request links, donations for any charities that the display might be running, and maybe even, showing that live show status of like it's on or it's off, and it's kind of all tied in. So it's not just find the display, but it's, once you get there, here's what you need to know and how you can donate. So we, people running those charity donations, be able to spotlight that a little bit more.
That's actually really cool. What gave you the idea to build this app like that?
There's a couple of motivations. It's really, when people ask us like, where else should we go? It's like, okay, well, there's a large list in the community that's out there, and if you go to this website, it looks like it was still made in the 1990s, and but it's very manually updated and kind of antiquated in that way. And of course, going back to tinkering and being in IT and all that, my idea was to not just make another map, right? For that matter, it's taking everything and putting it all into one. But then I thought, as a display owner, how could I make it a little bit more interesting for us to use and to integrate things into one, instead of having, visitors scan the QR code, go here for a request, or here to make this donation, that type of stuff.
That's actually pretty awesome. Are they able to like save favorites, plan routes? Like how does that work? Like how can they discover more displays? How can I send people away from my house?
Yeah. So you can, as just a regular visitor or user, as I classify it, is doesn't really require an account to go in and take a look and seeing what's around. When we ask you to create an account is when we ask you to save things, because obviously we need to attach to a profile. You can go in. And it's not just even residential displays. Like, the idea is to get some of these drive-through displays, or like there's a big garden that does a walkthrough light festival every year. Being able to put even those larger things on the map is part of my idea as well. But just, could be anything that's holiday related, anything related. Escape favorites, and then you can plan a route. And there's a couple of things that we're going to do is offer route packages. So for any of the larger cities, or even cities maybe in the Midwest and all that, where you can get a package of 5 or 6. Like, say you're planning a date night with the girlfriend or wife or whatever, right? So buy a package for a low cost.
Do we
that
tell
already
them
has
about each other?
no. Well,
Oh wow, we haven't been doing the DJ horn.
yeah. Be able to purchase pre-made routes and then optimize based on traffic. So it'll say, hey, it may suggest the house that's 2 miles away versus 10 based on traffic and those types of things. So it's not just here's some pins on a map. It'll try to
That's
optimize
pretty
it in
cool.
real time.
So is this just xLights, LOR? I mean, can somebody just put a regular display up?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? So if they're just doing store-bought props and a bunch of blow-ups, throw it on there. It's really goes back to my comment previously. My dad would put us in the car and say, let's go look at Christmas lights. You knew from driving around what was popular, and you'd hear word of mouth. Here you can kind of plan it out ahead of time and go check them out. It doesn't have to be things that are connected with all the smart stuff that we have. And it can, like I said, it could even just be drive-throughs or pop-up displays that happen throughout the year.
And then we got a question from the audience here, which I think this is interesting too. Can it integrate into Google Maps and use it with like CarPlay?
Or Apple,
Yeah.
or Android Auto? or Apple Maps.
So that is a good idea. I think for now it will. I think the map that gets pulled up will generate. If you want to open it in Google Maps, it will open it. So I guess by default, yes. But as you go through the route, it should populate in real time through Google Maps and provide the next stop there.
Oh, cool. So I could send it to my
Yeah.
truck.
Yep.
That's actually really cool.
Go ahead, Jay. No,
Go.
no. Beauty before age. You got the hat on today.
I always have the hat on.
Your name comes first, JR and Brad.
So what other things can like the actual homeowner add into the app that
Yep.
people know about?
Yeah. So think one thing that's neat is like I was mentioning before. There's photos. So obviously they can upload some photos. Show schedule and hours, right? So if that changes, and I'm actually making a change based on that Facebook post within the larger group is around seasons. So I'm trying to design how that works. Like us, we do Halloween and Christmas. There are folks that do other ones as well, but I think being able to make that information display a little bit cleaner. Things like FM frequency, song request links, donation links. If this is like a larger display, we're able to people to come and drive and park. So there's like notes for visitors, like don't park here, cycle through, just some anything kind of heads up. And then the other cool part is within the app, it'll generate and download and print yourself a QR code. And that's important because not only does it take you to that show display, but it gets people onto the platform and onto the website. And that will allow, pardon me, again, word of mouth for other families. This platform is only as good as the users that are using it, because otherwise, we're not doing benefit for the display owners with marketing traffic. So it's a way for show owners to have this one page, tell everything about the show, and get people back onto the platform.
So it's clearly different than other display directories already available. So what was the hardest part about building it?
I think for me, it was thinking, obviously putting it together was a challenge, and finding the best way to do it where we've got privacy in mind for the users, because we're dealing with people's home addresses. But then also, how does this feel different for the display owners, where it's really centered around them being able to list it and update it, and it kind of, some people are good with websites, some people are terrible with websites, some people, will just use a Facebook page and that works too. One feature we're launching soon is going to be able to have like a festivly.com/ or whatever, like how Facebook, you can create your own little username towards the end. Being able to put that in there and say, hey, just go to this page, and then they can manage everything through there. People can thinking about both sides of the coin. The show owner, what would I want to put in here? But then also, if I'm just the visitor looking for light show, for holiday decorations to look at in the holiday time, what would make it the most easiest to find the information at one point too?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I know it got a lot of attention. It got a lot of comments. A lot of people like, cool, because it's sort of like you're combining a whole bunch of different things that people had to do separately into one, and that's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's good for us, and it's good for the user, for the show viewer.
I knew this was going to be cool. He was booked to do this show way before he made that post.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was pre-planned. It wasn't like, oh, he posted this, but I've been busy. So when he posted, I was like, oh, Brad, this guy's going to be on the show Monday. I was like, shit, I forgot to tell him. So,
that's hilarious.
So I do have one thing.
Where's crickets?
If
I'm gonna shoot the crickets.
Added to it, but it does not have to. If somebody doesn't have a place to donate to, could it recommend one on the back end? Because so when we were on the cruise, I learned from one of the coolest people I've met in the lighting community, just because for the things he does for the community, like not the lighting community, but his personal community. he helps this nonprofit called the happyfactoryinc.org, and they make wooden toys for kids for Christmas who don't get toys. For all over the world, they make wooden toys and ship them everywhere. And it's the coolest thing. Like, I've tried to do like a fundraiser on Facebook for it. Like, hey, whatever you guys donate, send me the PayPal receipt and I'll match it. Like 3 people did it, which is a little disappointing, but it wasn't really the time of year that was like in March or something. But it'd be kind of cool because it's a really cool thing. If they don't have one, if it could be like, hey, why don't you just put this or something, not force people to do it, but like a recommendation.
Maybe a option to check that box. If you don't have a charity of your choice, would you like to go here? Because I can already see people like, screw little kids. Well, not like that. Not like you are not Diddy in it. Oh.
No good. Good.
It's not even funny. Don't even hit that.
Well, the thought would be, would you want it to be? I mean, I could go down the rabbit hole of thinking about this because that's where my mind goes. I like the idea. Would we want it to be something where they're suggesting charities that are local to their area, or
Local or national? Would you like?
Yeah, it could be like a select. It could automatically give them like the local ones, and then there could be some like natural ones.
Yep,
that'd be cool.
Because that's where people just kept trying to give us money all the time. And we're like, no, we don't accept anything. Like this is our way to give back. So many people helped us out when we had very little. And, and then they just kept trying to like hand us money. So I just literally stopped fighting people like, all right, cool. We were just going to donate it. And then we were able to hook up, like we do Give Kids the World down in Orlando ourselves, where all the Wish families and, terminal children go down in Orlando. And we just chose them because it's an amazing charity. And we visited it during 2020 when they couldn't have kids down there and literally like in their families because they're like dying and COVID and stuff. And once we knew everything about it and we know people who have stayed there, it was just like, cool. And we hooked them up. We hooked up with them to get us a QR code, like a link to the page, or we just created a QR code generator. And now we have our own page link. So people know we're not getting the money.
Yeah.
Is this really going to the kids? Like, no, I literally, my whole grand scheme of things was to build this amazing light show. And so so I can get $3 from you.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, that's, that was that was where like we do our show. My mom passed away from leukemia back in 2020. And my father-in-law recently passed away both from blood cancers. So this last year, I believe, was our first year donating to Blood Cancer United. And same thing. I don't want to get caught in handling that money. So, being able to point people right to our fundraising page is the same thing. And on our platform with Festivly, it's the same thing. I don't want to manage any money. I don't want the platform to manage any money in that way. It's just a pass through to whatever the folks, provide as a donation link.
Yeah.
Almost most of these charities, or almost all of them that I've heard of, like they're, obviously the 503, whatever, 3C, and they will give you a direct link, link. And so if you guys didn't know that, if you have a charity, let them know. A, they're going to be greatly appreciated because anything that comes in, and B, you ain't touching nothing. Nobody can come at you, at least at that angle, for running a charity or anything. No, just, donations are going here. All we do is play music. And if people want to donate to a charity, this is one we like.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, if you guys did not know that, I can't remember what family we were talking to. Possibly Rodney and Audra Burton. I think they kind of told us about that. And, yeah.
So, what makes your new thing different from the ones that already exist?
So I think it's more. I think there's like maybe 3 things or so that come to mind. First is really just the depth around most directories are like a name and an address, right? But Festively kind of takes those listings and presents what matters to those visitors. I think the integrations are a big key of it. So building, integrating with like Falcon Pixel Player FPP, Remote Falcon, Pulse Mesh, all those connections are listed and connected through APIs, feed and things like that. So they are things are updating in real time. So if your show is on, 10 minutes past what it's supposed to be, it'll say on at 10:10 p.m. or whatever. And then just really, I think I have a display and I know what it's like to try to get folks to a dead end house. And what would that make? What would make that happen or a little easier? So I'm one of us, right, building this display, and rather than just doing it kind of blindly, have an idea what we're looking for, and I've talked to the visitors that are out there, and we all have friends and family, so trying to at the end of the day solve a problem that I had personally too.
So we're talking, could it do schedules, songs, show status, or update automatically?
Yeah, so it's the truth of the perfect truth for like a real status is if it's connected into FPP, uh, so it knows your show is running. It knows that when you turn it on, turn your show on at 5:50 versus 6 o'clock at night. It knows, and so it'll show the listing as active, and then back off when it ends. And if you end up, not being on for windstorm or snowstorm, or your controller's died and your show's not on for whatever reason, it won't show as live on the site. It kind of updates in real time. So that's one of the things. And then Pulse Mesh and Remote Falcon. So obviously we know what those platforms are. One's for listening through your car versus FM transmitter on your phone. Sorry, versus an FM transmitter. And then Remote Falcon having the awesome ability to be the jukebox and play DJ for the night. So we integrate with those. So it takes you right to the song request page and be able to go with what's going, what's on and what's in the queue, and then being able to kind of show the live window of what your show really looks like at that point.
So you plan on using it in your own show, just like JR.
Brad, this might actually make me have to stop using xScheduler.
Wait, I thought Clyde was the only person in this whole hobby, Clyde Lindsay from PPD, that actually still used xScheduler.
No, I still use xScheduler too. But this is really cool, so I might have to.
How's the Windows world working for you? I did not know you were a Windows user.
So sidetrack here. The reason I use xScheduler is because in the beginning, it was very reliable, and I still think it is the easiest thing to give a client. Make them buy the laptop, set it up. They could go and look at the screen and see if all the controllers are green. And if not, you could be like, follow that cat wire to that controller and see if it broke. It's just easier to get the non-techie person just to make sure the show works. Or if they want to be like, can we play this song again? I'll be like, double click it.
So are you saying anybody who uses xScheduler is not techie and FPP is for people that use Macs?
No. Why would I say that when I use xScheduler?
I'm asking you.
No, it just.
I thought you were like a gearhead and stuff, so it's okay.
It's easier.
I'm not techie. I made friends with them. Friends of nerds. One of us.
So yeah, I might have to switch over now though, because that sounds pretty cool to be able to tell people that the show is actually on or not.
Yeah.
See,
this actually sounds pretty cool. Does it push pixels? Because Matos doesn't.
Maybe in a few years. Who knows?
If we wanted to join in on the beta, or somebody else wanted to do it, how can somebody get in on all that action?
Yeah, so that's really the point of releasing it now, right? It's July. People are thinking about their show beta wise. Go to festively.com and try to add your display. Once you do that, you can authenticate and connect your account to Google, which truly is the easiest way. And we've seen members sign up that way, so you don't have to remember another password, another email, and all that stuff. Once you go in, you add in your show. You add in all the details. So it asks for an address, or try to get your address based on location. but anybody can sign up at this point, really. So whether you're doing just a static display, regular traditional display, a large giant walkthrough or drive through, doesn't matter. We're able to support it based on where the state where the is right now.
That's awesome.
So ideally, it would be better to get a bunch of people on it right now.
Yeah, my whole thing is getting feedback, and the feedback can be everything. It can be what's confusing, what's missing from a listing. We had two people this morning try to add something, and they were hitting a 25 character limit on caption. Finding bugs like that, I want this to go well. That's why I'm trying to do the beta now. Is I want this to go well. Halloween will be a really good dry run, just like it is for a lot of our shows. If we're just doing it Halloween and Christmas. It's a real show to be Christmas, right? All the kinks have been worked out. Same concept, and being able to the have everything to the most part worked out. So, and then there's other integrations that we're missing. Somebody else who I don't remember who it is at this point reached out recently about adding in others. There's I think one or two other platforms that do things like Pulsemith. I'm not trying to tie it to one or two platforms. Or integrations, whatever's out there that I may not be aware of. Let's tie it in. Let's bring it together. However we can do that.
No, that's cool.
So all the Christmas and July shows coming up, like if you're on the fence, it's doing it in Christmas and July is a great time to try it out and get your feet wet and see if that's something that you might want to do.
Yep.
All right, crazy idea.
Yeah.
Say no to this.
Whoa, crazy.
Is there a way people could vote on the display?
Yes. Yep. So there's a couple of things they can do the traditional like Yelp and Google Map thing, right? Like 5 stars, then they can add comments. Then that does, that kind of pushes you. If you got 5 stars and 10 reviews, you may show up a little higher in the listing. So it's another reason to print the QR code, have people use the app to make that, right? Just like anything else. They can rate it. They can leave customers, talking like I'm in my day job. Viewers and visitors can
Yes.
leave the comments and even upload pictures of their own.
All right. Another crazy idea. You can say no to this or not. So if people vote,
and I'm the squirrel.
Hold on. If people vote, could you make it so like me and Brad could see the top 20 with the most votes? And then we could go through and pick which one we think is the best. And they could get a $500 gift card and a custom little trophy that we make.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
JR's about giving out trophies, not getting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. So there's a few things that have been already baked into the platform that I have not put on the Switch for yet. I see this, kind of going into the future. Like there's a whole communities aspect of this. So if you have an HOA that wants to run a contest, all you need is somebody from the HOA to sign up, pass this out through the HOA. So, whatever the HOAs are using today for voting, they can use our platform. There's a whole nother section for the HOA members, a whole other section for the HOA admins to see those votes. If our larger community wants to do something like that online on Facebook, absolutely. I think that's a great thing. We can treat that as a larger HOA, right? There's also going to be like we have route maps that people are building and want to throw in as a community, right? So they know that in this one street, maybe it's not on the map, but it can be part of a sequence or a route map for folks. There's a few more things that are just not quite toggled on yet. I want to make sure we get the basics down first. And then the other piece, and I don't want to forget this, was obviously I'm US based, and you guys are too. But we've opened this up now for Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So it's really can be more of a global thing. Obviously, there's nuances to each culture and region and addresses, but we figured all that kind of at least the address piece listing. Figured that out over the last few days. So it's not just a US based platform anymore. It can be anywhere in the globe. Folks want to use it.
What were those countries again?
So New Zealand, Canada, and Australia.
So Britain lost again, just like 250 years ago.
I just hadn't quite got to it yet, but yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah, there's some good guys out there. The Build Your Light Show guys. If you
Yep.
talk to them, they could probably help you with that UK side of things.
Yep.
They're really cool.
Why don't I have DJ?
Because I have that on my personal soundboard. The soundboard I was gonna add your wife yelling Brad on. I'm gonna record that one day.
Oh, the other some of the I forgot to mention some of the other features too that are in there that are baked that again are kind of turned on are around like city guides. So let's say you're coming to visit DC for the weekend. What are some of the commercial and residential displays that you can see that are highly rated, right? So you're not wasting your time going to, I heard this is cool, or looking on the local Facebook groups. I want this platform to be, and it might take a little bit of time, and I'm willing to be patient with it. I want this to be the default platform when families go out and be like, okay, where am I going? For the night, and then news agencies and all that can use this for their stories. Just a couple of different users there, events. So if there's just holiday display happenings that are going on. I talked about the community, and just started looking at my notes and contests, public contests. So like what you were mentioning, Jr.
Yeah.
And then just like a public leaderboard, so that folks can kind of either see what's going on, either close to them or in the larger nationwide or global level, sort of some leaderboards and public rankings that way.
Oh, I know
possibly
another feature, Brad. Stop it, Brad. I know a feature Brad would like to put in there.
What?
Can you have a section where he could put his awards?
Yeah.
I made friends with JR. I made friends with JR.
Yeah. Yep.
You got to understand, like when I joke around, when I say I'm friends with JR, like, I'm watching this guy on TV 5-6 years ago, and like, wow, he has like Koro cutouts of his whole family, and that's pretty awesome. And, but like, it's like, holy cow, is that JR Matos at Ron Howard's house? I believe it is. Like, wow, like how much money do these guys got? How crazy are these people? Like, but no, I got a trophy. It looks nothing like the one spinning next to us. That but I know that, but yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Are we talking mobile app? Is that like possible in the future?
It is possible. I'm not quite there yet because it's a new territory for me. The idea is to have the website sort of be that platform for the mobile app. It may not be a mobile app for Android and iPhone this year because I have an iPhone. We may have an iPhone app by Christmas. Just not sure, but it is part of the goal. Some folks love apps, some people love websites.
Hey, I'm okay with the Apple phone app because that's what I got.
There you go.
Congratulations on all your success, JR.
But I use a PC. Apparently, Brad uses an Apple and has an Android.
No, I mean, for me, it was a necessity. Now, after the bench testing and everything, it's like I literally have a gaming tower here that she played some Harry Potter on a couple years ago. And Jonathan, I know he's on when he benchmarked it or whatever they do. It was like 93rd or 94th percentile in the world. And my Mac Mini 2 at the time, like, was like 4 to 5 times faster rendering xLights. And I'm just like, and that's when the show was like minuscule, like some other people. And and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Mac homer. I do enjoy my Mac. I have a Mac. I use it right now. If the xLights team using our buddy Claude figure out how to get it going on Windows the same, I have no problem picking up a Windows laptop. I'm whatever works the best. I'm good for.
Yep.
So we'll go into some final questions about all of this stuff. What do you think is the biggest thing you want homeowners to know about this? Like, so they sign up and stuff. Like, what is the one like selling hook you want to tell them to get on there?
I think it's going to be signing up puts the display there. And again, it becomes that sole source of truth for your show. And then it's got to be on us as a collective community behind these displays to get the word out about the platform itself. We've seen these platforms come and go over the years, and it really comes down to what kind of sticks around. But it really is users, visitors that are coming to these displays. So it only helps to not only promote your platform, your display, but also the platform as well. So the QR code that you're able to get once your profile and your display is created, that can certainly help. And you can throw that, takes I think $10 at Staples to print a yard sign that has it on there. Again, having that single source of truth for anybody's light show is really key. And then it kind of the idea is to kind of set it and forget it as a display owner, because once December 1st hits or October 1st hits, you're in troubleshooting mode and all this stuff. Get it set up in September. Maybe you tweak your hours for the Halloween show, and that's an easy fix. And you can still use Facebook and everything else that you're using to promote the show, but it all kind of ties back to your Festivly link. And I'm hoping that feature will launch in the next few weeks, so people can start reserving theirs ahead of time. Any of the beta testers, or any of the beta testers that are setting up in the month of July will get preference on picking their username or their slogan or their whatever they want to call it at the end before we open this up to the public here soon.
That's cool. And I was just thinking too, this will totally work for like the Halloween guys that maybe just do Halloween decorations with their home.
And that's why you notice the theming. Yeah, the theming is not Christmas trees and snowmen and Santa, right? I chose the name Festively for anything. People are doing the Diwali light show, right?
Yeah.
I'm not narrowing it down to one thing. That's not my goal. Which goes back to my previous comment. I want it to be the platform. If you're looking at an event or something holiday related, the holiday can be broad. Come here, check it out, and you can go find the details about it. And that even takes it to the commercial, side as well in the future.
So I think we might have to do 2 gift cards, and we might have to do a Halloween contest and a Christmas one.
And a Diwali.
Yeah.
And a Hanukkah. So 4 gift cards. JR said it right there.
4? Okay. We'll do 4.
4 $250 gift cards. And Violet gets 1 too.
Yeah, we can work on that. I think we should do a contest. That'd be fun.
Yep.
We did a contest last week. I don't remember what it was, but I think you got to give something to somebody. You got to ask Bobby. You weren't here. You weren't here, so I just did a contest. I don't know what I didn't give anything away. And
Bobby did.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what the contest is. But go back and watch the last episode and find out. You might be the only one who subscribes and everything like that. So JR is giving away $45 million to the 4 winners because I'm not good at math.
That's it.
Disclaimer, he's not giving away $45 million.
You heard that wrong. It was 4 to 5 mini lights.
4 to 5. He's going to 4 or 5 more minis soon.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So is there anything else, Brian? No, it's festively.com, right? So all the beta testers, anybody who wants an opportunity to do something, you got to get in. JR is putting money on the line. He's putting gift cards on the line. You can buy the same stuff that he uses in his show, in your show, and it's going to be better, like the Kraken, the whole like with all the arms in the dragon and blowing fire and stuff like that. So is there anything else you'd like to promote, Brian?
That's it. Just it's the more we get the word out about the platform. It's not for me. It's for the other display owners. As we know that our visitors and our users are not thinking about light shows right now. They're in the middle of bikini season. They're on vacation. They're doing all that stuff. But as we get closer to it, spreading the word of the platform, if you like it and you find it useful, that's the best thing we can do to make it useful for show owners like us.
Are you able to put like a banner on there, like telling people to go like and subscribe the Professionals Triers podcast or anything like that?
Totally can. So
we don't need more people watching you, Brad.
We literally just went up 2 billion more
There you
viewers.
go.
Yeah.
I think there's opportunities for for vendors to do sponsorships and things like that as we segment out emails to both the display owners and the users themselves. Users aren't going to care about vendors and buying light shows, but the display owners will. So that's going to be another option that's going to be available next month. That's on the roadmap.
Oh, that'd be cool. Cause like, say, you get one of the big companies like Home Depot be like, oh, this guy says he has a 12-foot skeleton. You could buy it right here.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Maybe even possibly something integrating minis. We know our friends over at Wire Watts got a great calendar and stuff, but I mean, how many times a week do people put up on the page, "Hey, how do I know about these things?"
Yep. So
Like,
Yeah, no, that'd be kind of cool.
another one last cool thing that came to me in the last couple of weeks is like there's, I don't want to name any names, but there are several companies that will come out
name
and
the
install.
names.
No, they'll install like your
Call them out.
traditional.
Call them out. Oh, the good stuff.
They're fine. They're installers, right? So you see the guys that are popping up around Christmas time that will come hang holiday Christmas lights at your house, or the guys that will do like the basic. I don't even know what app they use anymore, but like WLED essentially, right? They come and put the Permatrack up and all that. So any of these installers, can also, there's going to be a vendor section in there. So if you're a user looking at a house and you're like, I would like to have something like this, granted, depending, it's variables, right? They're not going to get the shows that we have. But if they like some of these things, and there's like a local installer in their area, they can pay for an ad spot. Say, hey, down at the very bottom, hey, if you like this, look at so and so, whatever, installers in the area, and take a look at it that way. And then these installers will hopefully, be able to pass around a flyer when they're done doing an install. Hey, make sure you go list your site now on Festivly and all that. So it's promoting it again that way.
How can I use it to get people not to come to my display? Just like add everybody I know in the area.
You add it, Brad, and say it's closed.
Exactly.
Or say it runs for 1 minute at midnight every night.
Right.
It's a celebration.
You could put a teaser on your Facebook page and say, hey, look here and see if we're gonna be live this year, and then you add it, and then all those people sign up for being a viewer. Then you just keep it closed.
Yeah. Just be like, for updates on my display, go here.
Yep.
And it'd be like showtimes, none. Check back next week.
You do realize people go to our social media to complain about us on like, why isn't the show on? And it literally on every social media site and anything you Google or Apple Maps or anything has our hours and days listed. They know how to get to the pages. They just don't know how to click on the about section or look at it or.
Yeah.
So I recommend that this app does not have a way for people to make comments about people's houses.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, true. And you know what? We give the choice to the homeowner to review those before they get posted too.
Yeah, they can make reviews, but not like it wasn't on when I got there.
Yeah.
No, this sounds like something everybody's gonna use. Clearly, world domination, I think, is why you did this, and you might even get JR to, join. I don't know, like the developers don't even like have X scheduler in xLights, but maybe like I don't know, join the 21st century in integration. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever's easier.
Yeah.
Path of least resistance. At least you tried, buddy.
That's it.
So thanks for being on the show today. I think this is really cool. I think it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna sign up when I get home so I can make sure I get my my house domain thing I want when I actually get it all set up. But yeah, I think this is awesome.
Hollybrook signed up, and Chad, he signed up his Christmas light display. And we know it's Chad's because it literally is Chad's Christmas light display.
Right.
He made it very clear his possible significant other or kids I'm joking. No, that's awesome. Glad to, definitely make sure you guys, when you're, rewatching the show thousands of times, that when you start using this pretty soon for your shows for Christmas in July, that, definitely love to hear the feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
And JR's giving stuff away. I love spending JR's money. And yeah. So what's the contest rules again, JR?
We'll figure that out. We'll make an
We're just gonna
post. We'll figure some rules out, but we will definitely do a contest.
But something along that somebody has to be using this and showing that they're using it.
No,
and,
in there we'll go and see them.
Yep.
So we're gonna be stalking you guys.
Pay attention, Brad.
If you guys want a trophy and JR's money, this is the way to go about it.
That's it.
Anybody who does not have a trophy has a way.
That's why everybody likes me, Brad. I just give stuff away all the time.
I like you because you're like, hey, people keep saying we look alike from behind, so I guess I might as well meet you. And here's a hat. And I said, cool.
Do you know why they like me so much? Is because they'll win a contest and we'll give them the wrong stuff. Because we can't read packing slips apparently. And a 4-foot hoop is the same as a 4-foot tree.
Are we taking shots at employees?
I was just saying. It's okay. He's on vacation in Hawaii right now this week, so he'll never see this.
Oh, wow. Good for him. Hopefully he enjoys the water and everything.
You had that ready. All right. So we should we're already over an hour. So we should wrap this up. Thank you, Brian, for being on the show.
Brian, thank you very much. I would do the audience applause, but why don't I have you have noises? I don't like that.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.